Today we're going to try to build a beach starter home in The Sims 4. I don't really build in Sulani all that often. Don't get me wrong, I think that Sulani might be my favorite world for The Sims 4. Maybe not favorite. I have different favorites for different reasons, but I think that Sulani is like one of the best worlds they've ever made. Just the beach and the water and like the lots that are half water, half land, like that is so cool and something I didn't actually expect them to ever add to The Sims 4. So I've had a lot of fun building there, but the thing is, like when it first came out, I only built there and then I kind of just stopped. I think because I'm not that creative when it comes to this style of house, and I feel like I built all my options and then I kind of just stopped trying after that. So we're returning to Sulani today because I was trying to make a starter home yesterday, but I wanted it to be something kind of interesting. Like I didn't want to build just a classic like blue suburban starter like I always do. And so this is what I came up with. I did it on one of those beach lots, ones that are half over the water. So we had some stilted foundation and stuff. And I wanted to try and make this house look way more expensive than it is. I feel like the issue I always have with starter homes is they just look cheap because you always have the cheapest furniture options, you use the same things in the house. So like there's only so much you can do furnishing wise. And they end up looking really similar, but I wanted that to be different. And in the process, this house ended up not being a starter home anymore. I think it cost 26,000 simoleons, but it's 2 bedrooms, so that's good. It is just a little bit more than a starter home, and for that I am sorry. I did try. The thing is, it's also pretty small. Like, the bedrooms are kind of tiny. One of the beds is, like, up against the wall, the double bed, so I don't even know if 2 Sims can sleep in it. Because in my experience, the scooting, like, it works sometimes, and then doesn't work the other half of the time. So who knows what's up with that, but your Sims will scoot sometimes. So maybe you can sleep 2 Sims in that double bed against the wall, but I make no promises. And also, I did some things that are probably not the brightest when it comes to the exterior of this house. I spent a lot of money on fences. Like, I wanted to have this giant, beautiful porch, because I loved the idea of the wraparound porch in this sort of beach house. It seems very fitting for the style of house. It's also just really pretty, except for the fact that fences are expensive, and we don't have any money to buy furniture. So that was maybe my issue. Maybe that was our first mistake, is that I put fences everywhere, but I thought it looked nice. And then in the back, I did something kind of cool, where I made this, like, sort of split level, I guess, second deck, but the second deck is a pool. I say pool in, like, air quotes. It's not actually a pool. It's just, like, a deck surrounding a part of the water, and so it looks like a cutout, so you have that, like, internal part that serves the function of a pool. And I thought that was kind of clever. I've seen some people do things like that. I've done things like that. Like, once I had a heart-shaped one in one of my houses. Like, I've done things sort of similar, and I thought it looked kind of cool, and it also found a way to use up more of the space, you know? Because we had this whole empty lot, and I wanted to have things like a deck because it's free, so if you can figure out a way to make the house look more fancy. That was our goal all along, was to make the house look fancy, even though it's cheap. We just take advantage of our free options, you know, and we roll with them. And so that is what I did. I did a lot of fiddling with the house and like trying to make it smaller and then bigger and then smaller and then bigger because I was trying to save as much money as possible. I wanted it to be as small as possible, but I also wanted to use that big like 4 wide door. And so I was kind of struggling like going back and forth of what to do and what was best to do. I ended up keeping the door, but then it made my bedrooms really small. So that's the problem there. Also, the living space is kind of weird. You'll see I kind of went first with maybe having a really tiny area, and I was gonna stick the kitchen like in the hallway by the stairs, and then I changed my mind eventually, and I made the whole upstairs lofted space the kitchen and dining room, and then downstairs is the living room, which wasn't my original plan. Originally, I wanted the loft to be the bedroom, and then I realized that then I would only have 1 bedroom, and like, what is that giant room next to the loft? Like, is there a bedroom off of the bedroom? That doesn't make any sense. So I struggled with floor plans a lot, but I didn't cut anything out. A lot of times I'll cut out parts where I'm struggling with the build because I feel like it's not worthwhile to watch, but this is the entire build. It was kind of a short one. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours that it took me to do. I also did this on stream yesterday. So for context, I had a front page stream yesterday. It was sponsored, by the way. I never get sponsorship offers, so that's kind of a big deal. But anyway, I was sponsored by Adobe yesterday on stream. Not this video, the stream, just for the record. But then I was on the front page of Twitch because of it, because they had like some sort of deal, I guess, with Twitch to put me on the homepage. So basically, when you went to twitch.tv, like their website, you go to Twitch before you're logged in or following anybody, just the Twitch homepage, and I was featured on it. So there's like a carousel of streams basically that are featured at all times on the homepage, and then you can kind of like tap through them all and stuff. And I've been on that homepage before for different reasons. Like they had us like an eco lifestyle event where they had a bunch of simmers playing eco lifestyle on the homepage and stuff like that. But I was on it yesterday, and like I said, sometimes you'll get like 2,000 extra viewers. Sometimes you'll get like 100 extra viewers. Like, it's really hit or miss with what it's gonna happen. I usually have around like 3,000, 4,000 viewers on stream, depending on what I'm doing. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, who knows. Yesterday, when I was on the front page, I had 23,000 viewers. That is absurd. I have never, ever in my life experienced anything like that. I think my biggest stream before yesterday was when I had like 12, 13,000 viewers playing Eco Lifestyle on the homepage. So when I had 23,000, I like looked over at my view count and I was like, hello? Oh my God. But I built this in front of all of them. Now, granted, that homepage number is kind of inflated because they probably have me muted. They're not actually watching. They just have Twitch open and I'm there in front of them. So they aren't like actually in my chat. They're not actually watching me, but they could come through and click on me and go to my chat and stuff. And we did get a bunch more trolls than usual, which isn't surprising, like, obviously. I had quite a few people ask me for feet pics, which is new. I don't often get stuff like that in my Twitch chat. I don't know, it was kind of a wild experience. I just never thought that I would ever have something like that happen to me, right? Obviously it was on the homepage, so like it's more likely to happen and stuff like that. But I mean, I've had front page slots in streams before. I've never ever had anything like that. So that was kind of exciting. And all day people kept coming into stream and being like, wait a minute. Why do you have so many viewers, Kayla? What happened? Because like my chat regulars who are there every day, they see me with like maybe, I don't know, 3,000 viewers each day. And then they come back and they're like, what's going on here? Hello? And also some of my mods were like sending me screenshots of their following list and I had more viewers than Ninja. I don't mean to brag, but I am the new Ninja because of my one front page sponsored stream. I'm the next Ninja. If you don't know what that means, Ninja is like the biggest streamer ever. He gets less viewers now, but there was a time a couple years ago when like Fortnite was huge on Twitch that he was getting like 50, 60, like so many thousands of viewers every day. So it was kind of funny. Anyway, that was how my day went yesterday. You'll see I'm doing the like flipping of the floor plan now. I'm putting the kitchen upstairs and the living room downstairs. I figured it just made more sense to walk into the living room than it did to walk into the kitchen. I also never do kitchens on the second floor, so it was kind of fun to like try something new with this. I also tried to make it look a little bit more interesting. I used like a couple of the new tables and chairs from past updates. I ended up changing the counters to Island Living ones, don't worry. They'll end up looking better than this. But I was trying to find ways to like use the new items while also keeping the house kind of cheap. But at this point I give myself extra money. I give myself like about 5,000 more simoleons because I needed it. I didn't want the house to look super empty and sad, so I gave myself a tiny bit more money. I wanted money to like furnish the patio, and I wanted to be able to have like a real kitchen, and I wanted a computer downstairs. Like I wanted the house to actually be functional, and so I did cheat a tiny bit for money. It is no longer a starter home. Instead, it is a starter home. In air quotes. To be fair, it is still really cheap, and this is like definitely achievable for your Sims. You couldn't like start in this house, but your Sims can make 26k really easily. If they start out with 20,000, like you can make the 26k you need to buy this house like really quickly. So that's not a big deal. You can literally just paint for a couple days and then be like good to go. Just go like scrounge around, find some collectibles, and then you'll be fine. House is complete. Find yourself some plants, maybe some gems in the ground, dig up a little bit. And then you're good to go. It's kind of funny how easy it is to make money that way in The Sims. Like, genuinely, there's no point in having a real job. Like, you can make money so much faster and, like, more efficiently and everything if you just have your Sims look for collectibles. Which is so sad because you want them to have, like, real 9-to-5 type jobs because, one, then you can just send them off to work and, like, have less to deal with. But two, it's, like, more realistic to say, like, oh, my Sim's an astronaut. Or, oh, my Sim's a, I don't know, business person. Why did I pick astronaut first? I honestly feel like scavenging for collectibles is more realistic than being an astronaut. I don't know how many astronauts you know, but I don't know any. But your Sims just make so much money going around hunting for collectibles. And then if you get good at gardening and stuff, like you're set. You have so much money that way. And then meanwhile, they have their 9-to-5 job and they make like 200 simoleons and they worked all day. Sometimes it is nice to have your Sims making a little bit less money though. Once you start having like too much money in The Sims, it almost becomes less fun. It's weird because people play this game different ways. I'm more the type to like want my Sims to struggle for money because once they get rich, I kind of get bored. Like once your Sims have like thousands of simoleons in the bank, I'm like, okay, well now what? Because my way of playing is like start small, have a tiny house, and then slowly make money to to expand. And then once your house is expanded, it's like, well, what do you do now? Start over? Make a new save. That's what you do now. I don't want to be rich. This applies exclusively to The Sims, by the way. Just for some reason, having your Sims struggle is fun. I hate to say it to my poor Sims, but that's how I feel. I love to do like legacy challenges and stuff like that where you start out with a big empty lot and then just go from there. I think that's so fun playing the rags to riches type gameplay in The Sims where again, you have to just go find collectibles and like get enough money to finally afford a shower, you know? I think that's great. It adds some challenge to the game. We could use some challenge in The Sims. It is fun how The Sims can be played in like any way you want though. I used to be more of the type that would like build a really expensive fancy house, cheat for money to have the expensive house, and then put my money way back down to zero, because I think that's kind of fun where you have your Sims like have a nice comfortable home that suits their needs, and then you have to like actually afford the bills and work for the bills and stuff, because then you get the best of both worlds. You actually have to work. You don't just have like hundreds of thousands of simoleons, but they do still have a nice house. It's not fun to play in starter homes. I'm gonna say it. They all look the same. I mentioned this earlier, but like you use the cheapest sofa, the cheapest kitchen, like it just you don't have many options when it comes to like decorating that way, because like again you're limited to these very few like cheapest base game items. And like the kitchen swatch, I mean, you have these counters and they got like 5 swatches, so every house is gonna look nearly identical. I do wish that we had like slightly different base game cheap counters. Like I would love it if we had a solid white and a solid black swatch on those cheapest base game counters. It just would make everything so much easier, because I do like the shape of the counters. Like I like the flat fronts to them. I like how they look sort of sleek and maybe modern, you know? But I don't like the color swatches. I wish that we had a couple more neutral ones, because they're all like blue. Even the neutral ones are blue. Why? This is the eternal issue with The Sims though, isn't it? Just the swatch problem. When will we ever get what we need? Speaking of which, we're back and we're landscaping now. This was sort of a struggle for me, the landscaping in this house, because I wanted to use debug landscaping, the free stuff. But that's always a little bit annoying because you have to scroll through the debug menu. You also can't duplicate debug landscaping, and you can't scoot debug landscaping close to the house. So if you noticed, recently they added an update where like you can landscape a little bit better up close to the house. You can like scoot plants closer to the foundation and it won't jump up, because before the plants would like jump to foundation height if they got too close to the foundation. They updated that for regular landscaping, but obviously not for debug landscaping, because as far as the game's concerned, these items don't even exist. They're not tagged, they're not real items, your Sims walk through them. And so these plants, these fake plants, they still jump up to foundation height when you put them too close. So I was like trying to scoot my plants far enough away from the foundation, and like it was very frustrating trying to landscape it. I ended up putting them like slightly farther away and then scooting the lot one tile forward to like put them on top of the landscaping, which is how I used to have to do it way back in the day with Island Living stuff. You would like put the plants where you wanted them, kind of following the shape of the house, and then you move the house on top of the plants, because then they don't delete and it looks better. Because when you have to do it this way, the plants end up being like 3 feet away from the foundation, which the plants wouldn't grow underneath the foundation, but they certainly wouldn't have to only grow 3 feet away. So I want like a slightly more in between. I want the plants just slightly closer to the foundation, and so I did that by putting the house on top of them. Does that make sense? Anyway, the house is coming along now. It's almost done. I'm kind of going around trying to do finishing touches. I have like 700 simoleons left, so I'm trying to like go through and use the last little bit of my money to try and get some more skill building type things. I wanted to have an easel. I wanted some more lights. You know, I wanted to have like a grill and a table upstairs. So I was trying to like fix that problem and get a few more decorative items outside. I ended up changing the stairs to save some money, like trying to delete random parts of fencing that I still had you didn't need, because oftentimes you'll have like fence hidden behind the stairs, and you can delete the fence that's behind the stairs to save some money. But we ended up only having 6 simoleons at the end of the build, which worked out pretty well. I managed to get a trash can, don't worry. That was my biggest concern. I completely forgot about trash cans towards the end, and then I realized, and I was like, oh my god, how did I manage that? How did I forget a trash can every single time? So there is an exterior one, there is one in the kitchen. Just the kitchen one is the cheapest one in the game, and it has stars on it. It's like a kid's trash can. Like a little kitty decorative trash can. But that's okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and tour the house. So when I was trying to build this, I was like going through trying to get screenshots, right? And in the process, I literally killed 2 Sims. One of them I killed on purpose because the Sim who was living here, she had like an uncomfortable, this house was poorly decorated moodlet, and I got very angry. And so I killed her with a cow plant because she dared to call my house poorly decorated. And then the other one was completely by accident because I was just like time skipping, you know? I was using UI cheats and trying to like skip to later times of day to get better screenshots with better lighting. And like, see, does the afternoon lighting look better or does the daytime lighting look better? I don't know. And I was trying to like go through and change it. And in the process, I skipped so far ahead that my Sim literally burned alive. Like she spontaneously combusted from being out in the sun too long. So that's my bad. But here's the house. I think it turned out pretty cute. I really like the back of it. I love how it looks with like this little patio area and stuff. Like I just think it looks so peaceful. And look, imagine like laying out here. Stunning. But yeah, I definitely spent, what, am I not on the, hang on. I think my Sim has traveled to a this is the first Sim who lives here, but I built it again here. But a different Sim lives there, even though this Sim is here, but she belongs here. How did that happen? They're my cow plants, okay. But anyway, this is the house. As you can see, I did not forget a trash can. But inside you have a really small living room. I wish I could have decorated a little bit more, but again, we were very limited in our options. Windows are your friend. Look at that view too. I'm jealous. I have a little like study computer nook right here. Originally, I was gonna put the kitchen here. I liked the idea of like a super tiny kitchen, like along this wall. I was gonna have the fridge underneath this part, but then I realized that it didn't really work with the rest of the layout, like having this sort of like lofted space and then this room, because I was going to have this be a bedroom, and then I was like, wait, but then what is this? Another room? Like, do you go through the parents' room to get to the kids' room? Like, that's not a good idea. So I ended up changing it so the kitchen is upstairs, which honestly I think looks pretty cool. Like, I like the idea of that a lot. This is the parents' room. I'm not sure if a Sim can sleep on this side of the bed. The thing is, in my playtesting experience, sometimes they will scoot over and sometimes they won't. So this might be a 1 Sim bedroom. And for that, I am sorry. We do have a bathroom though. And I put this clownfish here. It was free. And in my mind, I thought, you know, this represents you. I wanted you to feel welcome in the home. So I put you right there as a clown. The patio has a little grill. You can walk through this door to get around and then come out to the little outdoor patio, sit outside and stuff. And that is the whole house. There's not too much to see. It is small, but it ended up being 26,807 simoleons. Actually, that's with the cow plants. These aren't supposed to be here. 25,857 simoleons. It is less than 26K. I knew it was. I don't know what packs it uses. Eco lifestyle, island living, get together, and outdoor retreat. What did I use from outdoor retreat? Oh, the wallpaper. The columns are get together. There's not many items from other packs. Obviously, it's mostly island living because, it's, you know, you sort of need island living to use this house. Anyway, I'm gonna go. If you ever want to watch me doing this sort of thing live, like I said, I built this on Twitch yesterday. It was a ton of fun. I take your suggestions in chat, like it's great. I'll link my Twitch channel down below. We have a lot of fun over there. I'm serious. You're missing out. And on that note, I'm going to go. By the way, one more thing. We're getting really, really close to 1 million subscribers. Like 981,000 subs. We're really close. So if you want to subscribe, feel free. Okay, I love you, miss you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I didn't say words just then. Follow me on Twitter too, if you want to, and like Instagram, and I hate to be begging for followers here, but you know, figured I would throw it out there. All my links are down below.